Hi, welcome back to Old Soul Podcast. My name is Bree, that's spelled B-R-E-I. Thank you so much. Today's film review / commentary is about the film August Rush. It was released in 2007 with a runtime of 1 hour and 54 minutes and has a PG rating. The director's name is Kirsten Sheridan. This is a nostalgic, modern fairy tale that depicts the journey of a young orphan boy searching for his parents through music. The main character's name is Evan, but he goes by August Rush. It's kind of a spur of the moment stage name created by an adult who was exploiting him in the film, which we'll get into a little bit later. Basically, Evan is like this child music genius or prodigy who is enduring a world of loneliness, bullying, exploitation. At some points in the film, he endures homelessness. A lot of this is just because he's basically put into the system as a baby, and we'll find out, especially if you watch the film, that that is due to his grandfather, who basically lied about a lot of details regarding his birth. While some elements in the film are not always realistic, hence the fairy tale description, the film dives into how children in the system are often overlooked, abused, homeless, like I said before. Although that is a serious topic for a film that seems to be rather catered to a younger audience, it's definitely something that is important to examine and I think to speak about. It is a hard topic because any situation in which a human is going through homelessness, exploitation, abuse, it's terrible. It's happening in our system, unfortunately. When you're speaking about children particularly, I don't think people like to talk about it as much, but the foster care system and the flaws and CPS and the things that kind of go overlooked, I would say, and that lead to more difficult issues, and sort of finding a way to touch on those details and execute such a really still lighthearted film, because the film does feel lighthearted. It does feel like something that children or older children could watch, and it would be more so educational and delivered in a mindful and still lighthearted way. And when you see the film, you'll kind of understand that description, but from what I'm detailing, I don't know that you would think that from that context, but I think it's important to note for the review, just so you know what you're getting into. The music in the film is beautiful, with the plot setting taking place in diverse New York City for the majority of the film. There were different types of music genres that were displayed, like classical, indie, rock, gospel. The director did a great job showing this on screen in a respectful and enjoyable manner. We also see relationships and situations outside of Evan's perspective, where we get glimpses of Evan's parents and sort of their culture and what they're going through. And it seems like they're both really musically inclined. His father was in this band before things kind of derailed, and his mom was like a very well-known classically trained cellist who attended Juilliard, I believe. And she kind of derailed a little bit when she got pregnant with August, or Evan. August is more of a stage name. And a lot of things happened with that situation regarding his grandfather, like I mentioned before, that sort of ruined that for her until later in life. And it also caused August to become an orphan child. Music is the hope in the film, not only because it leads August Rush back to his parents, but it is this tangible, magical sort of light that brings everyone and everything together, and not just in Evan finding his parent or bringing people together, but maybe even a way for Evan to express himself in a healthy way that he felt was effective in finding his parents. But it also seemed to bring him joy. It seemed to be a good outlet for someone who was going through a lot of honestly traumatic and depressing experiences as a child. In the beginning of the film, he's in like this boys' home where he's getting bullied by older guys, and then he runs away and he ends up on the streets with other street kids who are sort of being monitored in this like abandoned building by this older guy who is trying to basically use the kids by having them go out and like perform music on certain parts of the city and collect money that they then bring back to him and he's like trying to set up gigs for some of the kids that are a little more musically inclined, and he threatens people a lot. He can get irritated at the drop of a hat, and yeah, I would consider that exploitative and dangerous and traumatic. And then, even though when he runs away that there's like a social worker that's seemingly trying to find him, because at this point he's missing, he's not where he was supposed to be, it still leaves a lot of gray area for an opportunity that he could have gotten hurt, like died, starved. So many things could have happened. It's just things, again, that I feel like are super important that you'll notice in the film. Luckily, by closer to the end of the film, he does find refuge with a church who does try to look into what happened to him, but because he's going by the name August instead of Evan, that makes it a little more difficult. And he only took on that name because of that adult that was exploiting him earlier in the film. And there's so much that goes on with that, but it's done in a way that makes sense, that pushes the plot forward, and ultimately ends with a very climactic, interesting stage performance outside and tying in all the musical elements. So my final notes are the quote segment. Some quotes that stood out to me. August Rush. But I believe in music the way that some people believe in fairy tales. August Rush. The music is all around us. All you have to do is listen.